Welcome to Animal Rescue Postmortem, where we analyze animal rescue videos from around the world, breaking down techniques, outcomes, and the critical decisions that make these rescues succeed or fail. Hosted by Chief Carmack, who holds certifications in multiple technical rescue specialties and has over 40 years of experience in human and animal rescue. Get ready for an insightful look at these life-saving operations.
Volume 9, Video 8. Let's get to it. We've got a deer trapped in fencing here. I'm going to go back for just a moment and pause this. What can I say about the footage, folks? This is what you get off the internet, and the quality is less than desirable. That's a little bit clearer because I'm not looking at the deer. I want you to look at the situation around the deer. This looks like a flooded area, like a flood has passed through here, because we've got a bunch of debris buildup, and then it looks like this fence has been damaged and has been turned over and stuff. And the reason I mention that, one, it's proper scene size up, and then also, I'll just make a note. There's a couple places around where I grew up where there were old sinkholes, and then this debris the area would flood, and then this type of debris would come down into where a big large sinkhole drained out down into the earth there. And you could have debris like this piled on top of it, but there was a very, very deep hole under it. So you want to be very careful about what you step on top of something like this. Because, we already got standing water there, and you wouldn't want this debris to collapse under you over top of a sinkhole, and then you're not going to be able to get out. And the flooding continues. Alright, and then the other reason I mentioned this fence, the condition of this fence, is it's so far damaged that I'm not going to care how I cut this fence. It's not going to make any difference at this point on its function of keeping livestock in its place here, and it's already tipped over at this point here. So I don't think any damage that will be done extricating this deer would make any difference at all. But so what we've got would appear to be, I think at the end here, it looks like I see fire rescue guys who are doing this. And what kind of PPE do we need for this? Well, if we're going to be cutting wire, we're going to want eye protection, right? We want eye protection on for this. And then also they're actually in the place here where they can still be kicked from those legs. And I almost think that thing's given up. Maybe thinks it's good predators. But these look like lineman's pliers here. Whatever you do when you're working with wire, you want a good pair of cutters. I've said that throughout all our videos when we're dealing with fencing like this. I prefer fencing pliers for cutting fencing because it cuts really well. And then the other thing on this is the way this deer is trapped in there. It looks like there is... okay, I'm going to pause it right there. It looks like there's wire wrapped around the torso, and you got it wrapped around the leg here. And it looks like this is actually... It looks like it may have gotten up after they cut the leg free, because you can see all this stuff's been cut, and the leg is now... It looks like it's free of any wires. But that's the thing about that. So in this situation where you've got this deer that's down on the ground and its leg and torso is trapped, you're faced with making a choice of where do you begin the extrication. Because if you begin the extrication around the torso and the leg's still trapped in the wire, you've got a situation where as soon as a wild animal like this senses any release or freedom from restraint, it's going to flight. It's going to want to flee. And so this situation here, you've got it around the torso and the leg. So do you free the torso with the leg first? You run the risk of, if you get the torso free and the leg's still bound, of damage of seriously damaging the leg that wasn't damaged before because it was pulling on the torso and the leg equally, or something like that, okay? And then, or do you try to get it both? You've got two people on the scene here. I think the thing to do is to look at it. You've got time. Look at where those wires are and formulate a plan of exactly how you're going to cut those wires and in what order. You have the time to do it, so just take your time and formulate a plan. I don't know what this is, so get rid of that. Formulate a plan and then execute the plan rapidly so that you can try to relieve the tension that the animal's experiencing simultaneously, so that one thing or the other isn't still caught when it tries to flee. And then you can see here how wrapped up this leg is. And I'm not going to try... Oh, I thought that I had paused that. VCL or VLC player or whatever, you got a lot of work to do, in my opinion, because I can't just click on the screen or quickly and easily find the pause button here. They're trying to feed the leg back through material here. Don't waste your time doing something like that. Cut it. Just cut it. In the circumstances that we're faced with here. Under other circumstances, I might make a different choice. I'm talking about what we see in this incident specifically, okay? Just want to take a brief moment out of your video time here. Hope you're enjoying it. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe over on the YouTube channel there. It's really important that you do that. Go over to our website, check it out. I know you'll find some useful information over there. And don't forget that everything that we do is supported totally by your donations, your generosity, your love for animals. All right, let's get back to the video. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's resigned to the... It's like, I'm going to be eaten. I'm guessing. You know, I'm anthropomorphizing, however you pronounce that, there. So, maybe it thinks it's about to get eaten. It just gave up. But now they've got it from around the leg here. And this tells me that they are not properly assessing this here. This looks like there's one main wire around the torso here that could free this up with one single cut. And, you know, we're not there. Take that into account. We're not there. But that's what I would be looking at, because the leg's free. So what's holding this in here? Is it one wire? I mean, they've cut multiple wires and it's still not free here. I mean, you can see that here. And then it's going up and around the back section here and coming up between the legs. It's almost like this deer jumped up and landed on it and then tried to go through the fence. And then that's how it got so caught up here. But then okay, so now once it's in this position here, you know, how do we get to this? We could try to restrain it, or if I was having a lot of trouble, I might use chemical capture on this, or chemical immobilization is one possibility. However, if I had a crew with me and we could properly get this down on the ground and restrained, I wouldn't use any of those. No chemical capture, chemical immobilization. It would just be cut the wire and let it go. Okay. But there's, you know, I'm saying that because there's all these different thoughts that will go through my head on how I might deal with this incident here, and different possibilities that I have at my disposal. Not everybody's going to have those options. So you, like I say, you want to plan accordingly when you're dealing with something like this, and coordinate the effort between 2, possibly even 3 people to be cutting this wire and stuff around the fence. Because yeah, you could get an injury from this deer here, but you know, telling it to calm down and stay and hang out and wait, it's a wild animal. It doesn't need to hear that. That's not in out. It's not doing anything to help that animal. Right, so you see what I'm saying? It looks like there is one wire around the back here that needs to be cut and problem solved. I've just about spoke, I think, everything I can on there. So, eye protection. You could also, if you have somebody like a police shield, you could do like if it's laying down on the ground, you could put a shield over it and squash it. So, to me, it looks like there's still wire attached to that. Okay? Looks like there's still wire attached to that. I don't know what that is. Alright. That's it.